Vicky and we're the Stitch Sisters.
And this is another episode of What We Love This Week. Can you believe we're up to episode 7?
No.
We've been having so much fun with it, and it's not until we actually go to upload it and then I have to look back through and go, oh, what number is this then? And then suddenly you go, what?
Yeah, that's
it doesn't feel like
crazy.
Nearly 2 months since we started
it's crazy, yes.
It is
We hope you guys are still enjoying it as much as we are. We're just going to keep going.
Yes. So this week is quite accessory heavy.
It is,
because as we're starting to think about our spring summer wardrobes, we're also now starting to think about the accessories that we want to go with the things that we're planning on making.
So, but this week you and I have been editing quite heavily our new spring trends video, which went up on Friday. So it's already there. You can go and check it out now.
Yes.
But that means that we've been thinking about the clothes in our wardrobes and the colours, and I think it just naturally the accessories have kind of come from that, if that makes any sense.
They do, for sure.
Because we've already made all these things in our heads, and now we're just putting them together with the shoes and the bags and the earrings and things like that.
Yeah, so if you fancy watching that, it's a good hour and a half in total. They were both 40-minute long videos.
Yeah,
and
that was heavily edited.
Yeah, we did try and cut them down as much as possible, but there was a lot to cover.
There was,
and we have all these grand plans. I'm sure you do too. So if you're interested, go and check it out.
Yes.
The other thing you can go and check out as well is the other 6 episodes of this.
Yes.
So if you fancy, because of what we're doing here, it doesn't really date. There might be 1 or 2 things that are no longer relevant, but most of the stuff we're talking about will still possibly be of interest, you know, months or even years later. So it's not like it's been and gone. So if you enjoyed this episode, why not go back and watch the other 6?
Yeah. What we're going to start with this week then.
Okay, so let's start with the accessories, and probably the one that I'm most excited about is I found a new shoe designer today, and she's called Makoni. Actually, I say she, I have no idea whether that's a girl or a boy, but anyway, Makoni, and
everything will be linked
the most amazing shoes. We'll pop in a couple of examples up on the screen now. It's these toucan ones or parrot ones that I love the most, but they are such pops of colour.
They're just crazy, but they're amazing.
And when I first saw them, they've got these huge block heels on them, and I thought, oh, they're so pretty, but I couldn't wear them. And then I realised they come in slightly shorter heels as well. And I was like, yes, Makoni. So that is going on my list, on my wish list. I desperately need some of those shoes in my life.
And I found a shoe designer as well. Mine's at the other end of the spectrum.
Okay.
Mine are called ESCA Shoes, ESSKA Shoes, and they do the most beautiful sandals, and they also do brogues, and they do sort of proper lace-ups as well, but they seem to specialise in these sort of metallic leathers. So they're like pops of colour, so you'll get a bit of yellow across the strap, and then the back of it will be metallic, and things like that. And I just fell in love with their summer range. So they're sandals, they're flat sandals, but they're so clean. They're like clean lines, little beautiful, and the kind that you would wear with everything.
Yeah.
So
that's the great thing about metallics, is that it can go with anything.
But I just fell in love with them as well.
So moving on from shoes, I also found an amazing acrylic jewellery designer. So it came up on my feed on Instagram. The one that caught my eye is one of the tube map, but then I went down the rabbit hole and I found so many others. They are the most biggest, boldest. I mean, they would go great with the shoes, to be fair.
But then you can just wear black in between.
You want a fairly simple outfit.
You don't need anything else.
And they are called La Vidriola, and again, just really, I mean, I know there's a lot of acrylic jewellery designers out there, and I do like the simplicity of some of the less lavish ones, but these are amazing, proper statement pieces. That just would be the outfit. You could wear anything with it, and it would be the outfit.
And I found an earring designer, so this is kind of all just kind of happened naturally. As you know, I think our brains, after spending so much time together, they just kind of work as one sometimes. And they're called Caqueta Co.
Oh yeah, you showed me those.
They're
awesome.
lovely.
They made me want to get my ears pierced.
She's not got her ears pierced. It appealed to me. But
they do clip-ons.
They probably do actually. A lot of companies nowadays do clip-ons. They seem to be coming back into fashion again.
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s, yeah.
80s revival.
God blame the 80s. But they do a fabulous range of lots of tortoise shells, lots of bold colours.
Yeah.
Big, but not like size of your head big, so but wearable. And I just think that they're really beautiful. And if you love earrings and you wear them a lot, then it's the kind of thing that you would maybe have I can imagine having 2 or 3 pairs in a different colour palette from them and wearing them a lot because it would go with everything.
Yeah.
So that was my thinking. But I want some of them as well.
So they're all going on our wish list is getting longer and longer, isn't it? So anything else on the accessories front? Have you found any bags you like?
I have. There's a company called U.Bag, and again, this is one I'm going to have to save up for, but I do want a proper leather bag in my wardrobe. So I want something that's kind of colour neutral, possibly grey, so possibly navy or something like that, that I can take through from summer to winter, that is a proper leather bag. And this company appealed to me because it's modern. It's not... They're not designer bags in the way that they are sort of just about the brand or about the name or anything like that. They are classic and they're beautifully made. You can get them customized to yourself. You can have your initials put on them and stuff like that. And they do modern shapes as well, which really appeal to me. But they are a couple of £100 a bag.
But I think for an investment bag and one that's, like you say, if you picked it in a colour that you think you'd get a lot of wear out of, the fact that it's leather means it would last you a really long time.
Exactly.
So I think it'd be a good investment.
Yes.
Is that the bag that there's an account that I love, Gabrielle Wears Denim? Is that the bag that she was
She had a little white one. That's where I saw the picture, and it kind of led me down the rabbit hole to have a look at them. So it's U.Bag, and they are lovely. So we love them. And go and look at their website because it's got a really beautiful website, and they do lots of customizable bits. I haven't kind of looked into all the stuff that they do, but it's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I've had a few bags sat in my Amazon account for the last few days, trying to convince myself.
It's the opposite end of the scale again.
It is, yeah. So I trying to convince myself that I need all of them, and then I don't need all of them. So there's 3 different bags, and then they're all quite different. But one of them is, have you seen this trend for transparent?
Yes.
Transparent like tote bags, but with a little mini shoulder bag inside it.
Plastic. They're kind of like plastic.
They're transparent plastic. Yeah. And I do really like that trend. I've got a white one in my basket, and then I also quite fancy a rucksack, but a grown-up rucksack.
Yes.
So I found a beautiful kind of orangey, tanny, browny. It's more on the orange side, I suppose. Rust, I suppose you'd say. And it's a little leather backpack, but and it's really sleek, clean lines, and just looks very grown up. Looks a lot more expensive than it actually is.
Nice.
Yes. And then for the summer, I need, and I think this is the one I'm definitely going to have to buy regardless, is a straw bag with the round handles, and it's like a little tote, so you just carry it. But it's a really good size, and it looks really well made, and it's got a little lining inside it that you can pull a drawstring on, so you're not necessarily leaving all your stuff there ready for people to help themselves to. So I think that's going to be number 1 on the list, and then I'll think a bit more about the others. I'm imagining it for holiday.
Oh yeah, holiday would be great. I'm loving it.
I think as a break then from all the accessories.
Yeah, that's enough accessories.
And if you're not interested in accessories, you probably would just like, all right, stop going on about what you want to buy. So a couple of accounts that I've been following recently on Instagram. I've started to follow more. So when I first started on Instagram, it was purely sewing. Now I'm opening myself up to other accounts that just provide inspiration. So I started following a few home accounts. And sewing and fashion mainly, but these home accounts are so my style, but make me feel like I need to amp things up a little bit. Like it's okay to be a bit extra. I still will need to convince my husband for some of these. So one of them is an account called Barridge is the name of the account, Barij, but it's actually Barry J, and it's Barry J Blooming Art and Home, and she is a home decor enthusiast and has the most beautiful home. But what I love about it is that hers is very extra, but in a very refined way. So she uses lots of sort of neutral colours and pastels, along with lots of greenery and lots of botanicals and that sort of thing. So it's a very classy, grown up, very calm spaces, and but still with lots going on, and that's what I like in home decor. I like lots going on. And then the other one that I love, which is at the slightly other end, this is like the amplified version. So Joy Home, which on Instagram is a dot in between each letter, so J.O.Y.H. You get the gist.
Keep going.
And she uses colour in the most fabulous way, and she just makes me want to go and paint all my walls yellow and paint all my furniture in bright colours. Some of it already is, but paint even more of it.
Yes.
And I just find them so inspiring. And as we get into spring, summer months, I feel like I think less about the house being cosy, which being a cottage, it naturally is, and I think more about colour and life.
Yes.
So lots of plants and lots of bright colours.
That's lovely.
So yes, that's really inspired me, and my kids are going to stay with their nana for a couple of days over the Easter holiday.
Paint pots
so
coming
the
out.
paint pots are coming out, I think. Yeah, I've got some
Fabulous.
zhuzhing that I want to do.
Lovely.
Walls I want to paint,
Painting.
furniture I want to paint, and lots of thrifting, lots of down to the there'll be lots of that too. Have you got any home accounts that you follow?
I do. I've got a couple. I do like to kind of mix it up on my Instagram, so I have a little bit of makeup, a little bit of fashion, some general housey stuff as well. So there's one that I like called pet food that looks like pets.
What's
not to love? And plants as well. I follow.
Yeah, I
accounts.
do. I have a couple of plant accounts. Yeah,
just you go down a rabbit hole, and then you suddenly you've got 40 of them you're following. It's strange. But one's called Simply Smashing Designs, and this is kind of. I've got two actually. So this one is one extreme, and this is just a lady who loves home design, and so she collates pictures from all over the place, and she puts them on her Instagram account. And she's got quite a big following because she's got really lovely eye, and everything in her pictures is very clean. It's very airy. There are houses with massive ceilings and big windows and big furniture. I like big furniture. I like big lamps. I like big rugs. I like, everything amplifies.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of American design where everything is big because they've got so much more room there.
Yeah.
So that's one extreme of the kind of slightly pared back, very expensive, big rugs, big lamps, that kind of thing. And there's another one I like, which is called layered.home, which is the other extreme because it's much more
layered.
It's much more, there's more in it. They seem to set up scenes, like, so there'll be a scene around an armchair and there will be so much in it. But what I like is they take a picture of the whole area and then they focus in on one area and come in a little bit closer and the next picture. And then the last picture is really...
That sounds like something that I would be interested in. Excuse me, everybody.
So they start the whole thing
layered home.
and then come in and somewhere in those three pictures is whatever it is that I like, if that makes sense, because sometimes the too much cluster is too much for me, but actually if you pare it back and take the picture in a little bit, you can pick up little bits.
So
it's nice, and I think my
Lily Sawyer interiors.
Yes.
Yeah.
My sort of how I like my house, or how I'd like my house, is somewhere in between the two of those.
Describes her style as dark, eclectic, maximalist.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely a maximalist, I think. Right, have we got anything else? Oh, I'll tell you one thing that we should have mentioned right at the start. Biggest thing that happened this week. Then the sewing bee.
Yes.
What did you think? What did you think of the final?
I can't believe it's over. It feels like it was
felt
7
really
weeks.
Short. Yeah.
When we started. Was the first week.
Yeah. So 7 weeks. That's quite short, isn't it?
So it's quite short. Yeah, it does feel short, but then I think series these days, production costs so much that they do tend to be shorter.
Right.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
I did. I was happy with the final 3. I know there's been a lot of stuff going on social media, and I just want to take this opportunity to say that I wasn't party to it.
No.
I didn't see much of it. It's only what I heard, but I'd heard that online there was a lot of Leah bashing going on, and it had got to the point where it crossed over into bullying, I think.
I think so.
And I was quite shocked and disgusted by that, because I've always found the online sewing community to be really supportive. I've never seen a negative comment on anybody's post.
No.
So to hear that those kind of things were being said, I just thought that's such a shame.
I only saw it on Facebook.
Yeah,
I didn't see
that's
any
where you're
of
going to see it
on Instagram. And I thought they were all brilliant,
Yeah.
And they're there for sewing. This is not a personality contest. It's not who is the most attractive or whose personality you like the best. It's about the sewing.
Yeah.
And also, I trust Patrick and Esme as judges, and they are actually seeing the garments. I think a lot of the time, as sewists, we would want to see what they're seeing, because we'd want to see the seams and we want to see the finish, and we don't get that close to detail on it a lot of the time. So I just have to trust Patrick and Esme.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
On the flip side, I maybe don't feel quite that way, simply because it's a TV program at the end of the day.
It is,
they're looking for they're looking for drama and interest, and they want ratings, and it's not necessarily about it being a competition first and foremost. It's probably about being a good TV show first and foremost. But I thought that they all did brilliantly. My favourite from the start was Ricardo, I think.
Yes.
But I loved Julia as well. So from that jumpsuit that she made,
yes,
I thought week 1 or week 2?
Jumpsuits, I think, were week 2. I think, but I thought she was the most consistent.
Yeah, and her dress, for me, hands down, was the best in the final. Yeah. But then I did think that Leah's was really interesting in the way that everything was hidden, the structure was all hidden, and I think that does take a lot of skill.
It did, yeah. And she's been on a journey. Her and Ricardo have been on this journey from the beginning. I think they were both good, but I think their skills definitely elevated by the end of the programme.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas Julia, I think, was of a higher standard earlier on, and elevated more, if that makes any sense, by the end. So I'm happy. I have heard that they're already looking for applications for the next series.
Which is great.
So that means it's coming back.
Yes.
So that's more important than anything, is it's coming back.
It is great. And also, one thing that we were talking about quite a lot was that we thought the timings this year were a bit silly. Now, I know that they're making a TV show, they're trying to do it in a weekend, and I know that there'll be a lot of stuff happening off camera that we don't necessarily see, and you've got to allow time for that. But 5 hours for a coat, that's just silly. And if they're not careful with those timings, it will end up being a case of who can sew the fastest, rather
and that's not what we want. I'd rather they were given a little bit, not silly, not giving them 24 hours to make a coat. Give them 7 hours to make a coat, and then, or allow them to cut it out and then give them 5 hours to sew it. I think then you're getting them to show their skill, rather than just and sometimes it does feel like it's how quickly can you bodge it together.
And that's a shame, because I think that the skill level has ramped up massively. And that's why when people were saying about how they didn't think it was fair that certain people were in and out and all that sort of stuff, I think everybody there was at a much, much higher level. Any single one of them could have won any of the previous seasons of the Bee, because technically it was so much more advanced. Do you remember how they used to have an overlocker episode and everyone would go, oh, an overlocker.
Oh, I've never used an overlocker.
Whereas now
before.
everyone had them set up at their station and they all used them as standard.
And cover stitch machines. It's the first time we've seen cover stitch machines.
And making jeans week 3, and it was crazy, some of the things they were expected to do and the time frames they were expected to do. So I've got nothing but a huge amount of admiration and respect for the contestants, all of them, and I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm chuffed to bits that it's coming back.
Me Made May!
Yes, Me Made May!
We're in April. That means we're allowed to think about it.
Yes, I think we may have referenced it in a couple of videos already, just that we have been
always on the back of our
think
minds
about it.
Yeah.
But it's time to make our pledge. We're going to do that this week. So the idea with Me Made May, if you've not taken part before, is that you make a pledge for what Me Made you're going to wear during the month of May. And then you spend that month showcasing with your photos on social media how you're doing that, if you want to. So some people post every single day. I've usually done that. And in previous years, I've always, as my pledge has been, to wear 99% Me Made. So I would let myself have a pair of jeans, and last year I let myself have a pair of dungarees, and I don't make my own underwear. But other than that, I would do all of it Me Made. And this year, I'm just going to take a much more relaxed view on it, because my only pledge, I think, is going to be to have fun with it.
Which is good.
No rules, just try and have fun with it. I will say to myself, my pledge is that I will say to myself every time I'm getting dressed and I'm putting an outfit together, I will ask myself, is there a Me Made equivalent that you could chuck into the mix instead of that? And if there is, great, and if there's not, great. But that's the only thing, is I will try, and but I'm not going to say, right, that's it, nothing but Me Made for the month.
And I think I'm going to go for something similar, but I haven't quite decided exactly how I'm going to word it yet. But I just, with how my mood has been and how my emotions and things are, I don't want to pile too much pressure on myself.
No, you
so
shouldn't.
I'm probably just gonna wear it when I want to and photograph it when I want to, and not when I don't.
Yeah.
So it's basically what my wardrobe is every day.
Yes.
So, but I will try and do, like as Rachel has suggested, just trying to think about it and think about, okay, I want to wear jeans, so can I wear something which is me made with it, or do I just not feel that way today?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of let it be what it will be.
Yes.
And let it evolve.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I usually use it as an excuse to analyse my wardrobe and see where the holes are. But the problem is, I think if you focus too much on everything being me made, then what it does is it makes you think there are holes in your wardrobe that aren't really there.
Yeah.
So I might not have a me made version of something, but I've got it. I've got something to wear. Yeah. And I just think that it's silly to then say, well, I've got that perfectly good one, but I didn't make it, so I'm going to make one to replace it, because that's just, why do you need to do that? If you've got a perfectly good one, you know, by all means make a note of it, and then at some point in the future, when it's worn out, when it's had its time, when it's no longer something that you want to wear,
or make one in a different colour that gives you different options in your wardrobe if you want to make one, but don't
do it just because it's not me made
to replace it.
Yeah, that just seems a bit silly. So yeah, it will be a slightly more relaxed version of me made, but we will cover that a lot more during May.
I'll have to put my thinking hat on and have a proper think about it.
Yes, good idea.
And pledge this weekend.
So finally, a couple of things that I am excited to tell you about, because I just happened to find out about this on the Fold Lines website. They have a list of events, sewing events.
They're so good, those girls.
They have all sorts on there. But I'm shocked and horrified to know that there has been a really awesome exhibit at the Bristol Museum. Bear in mind that we're based in Bristol. And it's been there since August last year, but it's actually going to end mid-May, so we need to hurry up and get to it. But it's called Fabric Africa, and it's showcasing the textiles of Africa and the history of them and how they're made and how the different patterns are designed and all that sort of thing. And it's quite a large exhibition, and I can't believe that it's been there the whole time.
We've not seen it.
Exactly.
That sounds like a perfect day out for the Easter holidays.
Let's do that. Yes, my kids love the Bristol Museum anyway, so they can go and look at ancient Egypt or something.
And my kids just love spending time with your kids, so that'll be fine.
Perfect. We'll just say to them, go and look at some Egyptian mummies, and then we can meet back in the food hall at brilliant.
So that's one. So what's the other one?
Well, the other one hasn't been there for ages, so we don't have to feel guilty about having missed that one. But the Bath Fashion Museum, which is just as close to us, so we're equidistant between Bath and Bristol, and we love any excuse to go there, don't we? And they've got a new exhibit called Royal Women, where they're showing some of the gowns that have been worn by royal women, funnily enough. Then I had a quick look. There was one worn by Queen Anne, one worn by Princess Margaret, and then
Queen Mary, you said as well, I think.
Yes, I think so. So it's not usually, the Bath Fashion Museum is quite small, and most of what you go to see is what is there all the time.
Yes.
But their temporary exhibitions are usually quite small. I mean, literally one small room. Okay. But like I said, we don't need an excuse to go to Bath, and I'd really love to go and see that, because they tell you about the stories behind each garments, and they've got accessories on display as well that have been worn with them and that sort of thing, and they tell you about the designers. So I would definitely be up for a little jaunt to the fashion museum. So yes, I think that's probably it for this week. What do you think?
I think so. I don't think I've got anything else. Obviously we're going into the Easter holidays, so we've got the kids at home for a couple of weeks, so it's going to be a bit of a disjointed couple of weeks with juggling children as well as everything else. So, but I am looking forward to it. Charlie wants to do lots of baking. He's already got half a banana bread mixed and ready to go, and we're making hot cross buns.
Excellent. So, and I cut out 3 projects last night, so I'm planning on doing a lot of sewing, hopefully.
I've got 5 cut out.
Really? Well, we're going to get lots of sewing done this Easter. Oh, and the other thing, just thought I'd mention as a final thought, is we're off to see bands tonight, to see a guy, aren't we? So the 4 of us and our husbands, are leaving the kids with a babysitter, and we're going into Bath to see a guy called John Smith, who's an acoustic singer-songwriter. Nice.
Be a nice
adult Friday night out. If you're into that sort of music, go and check him out as well.
So that's it. We've obviously got to go and get ready for our night out and everything else, but we will see you.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.